Now we'll discuss how to automatically close the cursor object. I have left this in the previous class. From there only I will continue. So why cursor is to be closed? I have explained what is the reason why cursor is to be closed. Because cursor requires a certain set of resources, and those resources need to be given back. Right? That is the reason why once the designated operations with the cursor are over, we need to close it. If suppose you are not able to close it, or if you forget to close it, then there might be a problem that multiple processes acquire or multiple processes try to hold the same set of resources, and unavailability of resources may lead to non-execution of the program later on. So it is always suggested that you close the connection and intern the cursor whenever the set of operations gets over. So for automatically closing, we use with closing command, and with closing will help you to give a name to a particular cursor, and further that you can use for executing a query. And once the cursor executes a command, you can use fetch one and fetch all functions for fetching set of rows individually or all the rows at a time. Okay, so we'll see how to use fetch one and fetch all. So fetch one function is written, you can just see with closing connection cursor as C, and C is the alias given for the present connection, and then present cursor, and then query select star from movie, where movie ID is question mark. This is a parameter that we will be passing when we are executing the command. So C dot execute query comma 5. So I want to access the record with movie ID is equal to 5 and movie is equal to C dot fetch 1. So this will get you the first record in the set of records that are obtained by executing the query by specifying the movie ID as 5. So if you have got 5 records selected, assume 5 or 6 records selected, and all those records are available. Assume a kind of array is available wherein we have got the 5 records, and you want to fetch the one record at a time, then fetch one function will help you to do that. So one function is one record is fetched using fetch one function. So you can access the columns that you have fetched using index. Like for example, say name, if you want to display, then you can use movie of 2, where 2 is the index. If you want to display the year, then you can use movie of 3, and year is an integer, so you need to convert it to string and then concatenate it to it. And then minutes is again an integer, so you need to convert it to string and then concatenate it and display minutes is equal to this much. So if at all you want to access the columns by name, then you can use this type of thing. You might have already studied, and you might be remembering that we have dictionaries in Python wherein we can specify name of a particular attribute. It is the value name pair, right? Wherein we can specify the name in place of index, right? If you specify the name of the particular pair, and then you will get the value associated to it. For example, name will get you the movie name, year will get you the year of release of that movie, and minutes will get you the minutes of the duration of that particular movie. Even this is also possible. You can do this by writing this. So movie is the array or a dictionary which contains all the data related to a particular single record that is stored in a table. How to use fetch all method to get all the rows? So this is to fetch all the rows at a time. So this is an example wherein you can do that with closing connection dot cursor as C. So this this will help you to close the connection once it is over. Then query select star from movie, where minute is less than this. This is again an attribute that will be passing. So the value that we want to pass is 90. So it will execute the query and it will get you all the records related to this particular query that you have fired. So the query is select star from movie where minutes is less than 90. So all the records where it is less than 90, that is 83, 81, 81, these three records are available. At once all the three records are fetched and stored into movie, right? Then you can use a loop to extract one row at a time from this. So how it is done? From movie, in movies. So movies is set of records, we are getting one record at a time. Print movie of name, then separated by this pipe, movie of year separated by a pipe symbol, movie minutes. So this will display like this. Okay, so this is the name of the movie, this is the year of release, and this is the duration in minutes. So this is how it is done. So commit method is with the connection object. So commit is the most important function. You must say, you know what is commit operation in database, you have already studied it. Similarly, we have got commit function, and this commit function will help you to make the changes that you have done in your program to write into a table that you are referring to, right? So this is how it is done. So when you say insert command, if you at all want to execute an insert command, and you say name is equal to Juno and year is 2007, minutes is 96, category ID is 2, with closing connection, this is the same procedure that we have followed. Then this is the query, SQL is equal to insert into movie, name, year, minutes, and category ID. Values is the values that we pass. Okay, then see execute SQL, name, year, minute, and category ID. So this name, year, minute, category ID are these values that are getting substituted here for these 4 question marks. Hope you understand, right? Instead of writing the values directly, what we have done is we have written a placeholder question mark, and this placeholder question mark will get the values substituted from these variables that are created in the beginning. Once this statement is executed, how this statement gets executed? This statement gets executed by this statement gets executed where SQL is the insert into statement, and then this is values are replaced with this one. Then when you say connection.commit, all the values that are inserted will get updated into the file or will get stored into a table. So the changes that are performed with the table or changes that are done with the table will get reflected only when you execute commit command, remember. So after executing such a SQL statement like insert, update, delete, right, the commit function is to be called. If you don't call the commit function, then the changes will not be written back to the table. That is very important. Similarly here, when you execute update command, the update command goes like this: ID is 4, minute is 84. These are the two variables which we will be using further into the statement with the closing connection dot cursor as C. SQL is equal to update movie, set minutes is equal to a placeholder question mark where movie ID is this. So for these two, we are passing these two as the arguments. These will get substituted accordingly or mapped accordingly, and when you execute it, the particular SQL statement gets executed with these values. What are the values? ID is 4, minutes is 84. It will get updated into the movie table once the commit command or commit function is executed, right? Similarly with delete, as I have told already, all the SQL statements that you want to execute which will alter or which will make the changes to the table that you have created, you need to execute commit function or you need to call commit function on a specific cursor to make changes into the particular table. If you don't do that, then the changes will not get reflected into the table. This is very, very important, you need to remember. So with closing connection dot cursor as C, SQL is equal to delete from movie where movie ID is this. What is movie ID? Movie ID is 12 that we are passing here. In the previous class I have told you, whenever you are using a tuple with a single value, you need to end with comma, otherwise it will not be considered as a tuple. And whenever you want to pass multiple values for execute command, you need to pass them in a tuple. So always remember that after specifying the value here, you need to specify the comma. Please remember this. And once that is done, call commit function on a connection. Okay, this is some sample code that is given for you to see how it works. So you can see import the SQL module and closing function. So for if you want to use closing function, then you will have to use this context clip particular module. Then SQLite 3 is for SQL, enabling SQL. Then connect it. Then row factory is you need to select the set of rows. Then select statement with exception handling. Exception handling is same as your Java exception handling. You can just go through and find out how it works. So just for your attention, I will show you how it works. So you can say first you will have to write try, then colon. This is exception handling. Like you will have to use try, except there in Java you have try catch. Here you have try except. Okay. Then with closing connection cursor as C, then query we are selecting this query. Then we are executing the query. Then we are fetching all the records that are obtained from this particular query, and then we are using this. If at all while performing this particular set of operations, if there is any operational error that occurs, okay, then that is accepted in E. So if at all you want to display it, then you will have to see error reading database, and then what is the error, you can show it using print command. Whatever is available here in E will be displayed. Okay. And because this has not selected any rows, movies is set to none. This is very important. This is already explained while explaining the data types available in Python. Okay. So none is a data type. This is one example you can use for explaining where the none is used. If this particular thing fails, then this exception gets raised and this error message is displayed, and since nothing is stored in the movies, we will set it to none. Okay, this is similar to null. This movies is set to none, so that you can assure or ensure that later on there will not be any wrong set of operations will happen with movies record set. Okay. Then what we have, if movies is not none, means the try block has been executed. For movie in movies, these all things will be displayed. Then this plain print will display one line. Okay. Then execute insert statement. Then all these things will be done. Means we are assigning the values. Then with closing we are opening a cursor. Connection we are creating a connection. Then insert into movie. Then all these things will be done. This is already explained to you. Then commit print name inserted. So this is just to indicate the end user that a particular record has been inserted in a particular table. Okay. So you can notice that commit function is called every time whenever there is any change made to the table, whether it is delete or insert. This is in continuation with what we have seen in the previous slide. You can see this is to delete the particular statement. So this is with closing connection as C, SQL is equal to delete from movie where name is equal to this, and then you can specify the name, and then you can perform commit operation, then name is deleted. So this is what actually happens. First we insert that particular record. See, we have not read the name here. You can make some small change in the code wherein you can read the name before this execute statement. You read the name of the movie and then pass that name as a parameter and then delete it. Since we have set all these values here, name and all this, fish called Wanda and all this, is the same thing will be used for inserting as well as deleting, right? So you should be able to understand. So if you want to see it once again, you can just see it once. and go through each and every line of a code and try to understand what every line does. If you have got any problem, you can always call me and clarify your doubts, or you can always Google and find out what a particular thing does. Okay. So using user interface like what you have done in C programs, you can always do this with your Python program also. So this is how it is done, like everything is getting displayed and then the program. Okay. So the whole program is available in the book. You can always Google this you will get. And even I will share this particular PowerPoint with you to see how it happens. Okay, this is another DB module for database tier, how it works and how it is done. Like it is same as the previous program. The difference is for what I have told in the first class today is that you create a class and name each and every attribute, self ID, name, year, minute and category. So you have all these attributes. I hope you remember I have told that you can relate the members of the class or data members of the class with the column names of the database, isn't it? So the same thing has been done here, and then we have got category class. In category class we have only two members, two fields were there, so we have only two members here which are mapping with the fields of category class. So this is for movie table, this is for category table. So try to understand what it does, and you should also look at the init function, how it is done. What is init function? What is init function? Init function is basically a constructor for a particular class. Okay, so using all these values, if any of the values are missed out while creating an object, these default values will be taken. Okay, these default values will be assigned. If suppose you pass ID, name, year, minutes, category, everything properly while creating an object, those values will get overwritten with the values that you have specified here. That is 0, none, 0, 0 and none will be replaced with the values that you have actually passed. Similarly here. Okay, this, hope you remember this. This has been taught long back. Okay. So this is DB module for database tier. So using the class object concept, now we will be doing this. So this all I have already explained. Import sys and import OS is for OS related things that you need to do. Then SQLite, then closing, then category and movie, the one which we have written just now. I have shown one slide in which we have written two classes, categories and movies, you might have noticed. Then connection, right now it is none because we have not created any. So now you can see connection. What type of variable is connection now? Is it a local variable or a global variable? It is global variable because it is written outside of all the functions. Why this is declared as global variable is because this will be referred in all the functions and we don't want to duplicate connection every time. So now this is connect function. So for declaring a function you use def connect, then global connection. So you can see if you directly write conn connection here in this function, it will be a local variable. We want to refer to a connection variable that is created in the global scope. Because of that reason we have used global connection. If not connection, then we'll have to do this. This I have explained in the morning session, right? All this has to be done. If it is a Windows platform, this, that, then you will have to specify a DB file. So what we are doing is we are specifying a DB file as movies.sqlite, and then we do this, then this. So all the things are written together in this particular database here. Then we have got the close. This is a better way to write a function instead of writing everything into one single program. But what I suggest is in the beginning, whenever you are writing the program, database related program for the first time in Python, you write everything into a single code, and then you can try to map a class with a database and then database table and then do all this. So we have close, we have make category. The make category function takes a row and then it returns a category, this thing, and then similarly make movie will return all this thing and returns this, and then get category, select category ID name as category name from category. So this is again a query, and that query will get executed here similarly for these things. So what I suggest is you note down all these things and try on your own and find out how it works, right? And then get category for a specified category ID, category name, you can just find out. For this category ID you will have to execute a query. What query? Select query to fetch one row for this category ID and return that. So similarly for get movie by category function is also written. So you can have as many functions you want depending on the options that you are giving to the user. So this is get category, this is get movies by category. If you specify the category ID, then you will get the movies. Accordingly you will have to write a select statement. Select movie ID, movie name, year, minutes, then movie category as category ID and all that. So you should be able to write your own select statement and then you need to execute the command. So for this particular statement you may get multiple records fetched. Because of that reason we are writing c.fetchAll, and that will be available in the results. Okay, so this is how it goes. Then get movies by year is another function where we are getting movies by year, and then everything is available in movies thing. And if you want to add a movie, you can always add a new movie to the existing one. But always remember one thing, that whenever you add a new movie to a movies table, you need to execute commit command. Similarly, delete also, you can delete a particular movie for a specified movie ID. Why we are using movie ID? Any idea? Because movie ID is a primary key in movie table. So we can uniquely identify that particular thing and delete that particular thing and then execute commit command. So this is UI model for presentation layer. So this is for database tier, means this will actually connect to a database and get the work done. So multi-tier architecture you might have heard. So we are doing multiple tier implementation now. The UI module for presentation tier, now you can see here what we are doing is we are giving a user interface, right? In user interface we are displaying the title, right? What is the title? Movie list program. And then this print will just print one line. And then display menu. Display menu will display all these things. It is like so CAT, if you type CAT you will get movies by category year. If you type, then you will get this, like what you have done in C programs, like 1 to insert, 2 to delete, all that. In DS data structure programs also, while implementing a stack you have written 1 to push, 2 to pop, 3 to display, all that. Similar to that they have written this. Okay, so this is a menu driven program. So now you can see, if you want to display the categories, then categories is equal to db.getCategory. GetCategory function we have written in which file we have written, in which program it is written. Any idea? We have just now written it in database tier. In database tier this particular function is available. For category in categories, then you just iterate through that particular category list and then display it. And then display movies, movie title. So to display those things you need to do this. So I personally suggest all of you to just do this module wise and get conversant yourself with implementing both UI model and database tier model. And then comes display movies by category, display movies by year. So whatever options you had specified, view movies by category, view movies by year, add a movie, delete movie, for all of these you have the functions written, and these functions will in turn call the functions written in database tier. So this is for adding a movie. So you can see name is equal to input name, you are reading a name, year is equal to input year, and year is an integer, so we are converting it to integer, because whatever is read will be read in a string format. Then integer minutes, right, we read minutes and then we convert it to integer, store it into minutes. Then category ID, category ID is again integer type, but it is read as a string and then it is converted to integer and it is stored. So this is how it happens. Okay, so once this is done, you can add a movie by using add movie function that you have written in database tier. That's why we have written db.add movie. So add movie is available in database tier. Okay, similarly db.delete movie, if you want to delete a particular movie, then you will have to specify which movie ID you want to actually use for deleting a particular row, and you can accordingly call delete movie from database tier to delete that movie. And in the main function you can see what all we have done. We have written a main function, then db connect will get the connection, then this is to create a connection, then display title, display categories, then this one is a infinite loop, then command, we are asking user to enter the command. If the command is category, in the display categories, actually display title, display categories, actually it will display everything, and depending on the user's entry, if he enters CAT, then it is display movies by category. If he enters year, then it is display movies by year. If it is add, then add a movie. If it is del, then it is a delete movie. If it is exit, then it is break. So when this particular function breaks is only when you enter EXIT in this particular format. Else, if your entry doesn't match for any of these specified commands, then it will say not a valid command, please try again, and then display menu again, right? So display menu, it will display the menu and then you will have to continue. This is how it's done. So this is program as far as the program is concerned. Now I will show you a small demonstration of the program that I have written for you. This is just a simple program for beginners. If you write a bigger one, probably you will get confused. That is the reason why what is done in this particular program. We have written small program to understand how to provide a connection or how to do database programming using Python. So first thing is import SQLite 3. Then from SQLite 3 import error. This is for errors that will be generated while doing SQLite program connections. Okay, SQLite related commands whenever you do, if there is some error that occur, then for that this particular package is done. Then SQL connection, this is a function which will establish a connection for a database that is available in a current directory. So this, we are assuming that this my database will be created and will be used from a present working directory or a current directory. So connect to the database my database.db in the current directory. So what we are doing is we are creating connection, and SQLite 3.connect function is used for that. This is the database file name. Okay, and since it is available in a current directory, I am not specifying the full path because present working directory is same, and where in the same directory we have got my database.db. So that is not required. If suppose you are storing this in some other place, like for example say you are storing it in my document, then you will have to specify, or you are storing it on a desktop, then you will have to specify the whole path, a complete path, absolute path name for that particular database file. And once that connection has been established, you will have to return the connection. If it is not done, if this is not done, then it will catch the error, and that error must be displayed on a screen. Okay. And then further you can see we have got SQL table, another function called as SQL table, which will receive the connection that is created from this particular function. I will show you how these functions are called later on. Okay. So cursor object is equal to connection dot cursor. We are creating a cursor object, then create a table in the database already connected. Where the database is connected, it is connected here. So first this function is to be called in the main function or anywhere else wherever you want to write, you want to call SQL table. Before this particular function must be called. The create a table in the database that is already connected using this cursor. So what we do, cursor object dot execute create table, this particular table, integer, roll number, primary key, name. So what all things we are doing, roll number is the first attribute, name is the second attribute, then department is the third attribute, fourth one is semester. And name, you can see roll number is integer type and this is a primary key. As I was explaining in the first class, this is a primary key. Name is a text type, department is a text type, semester is again an integer. Semester is integer. You can see here semester is integer type. Right? Semester is integer, and remember you must specify this whole command into double quotes or the quotes triple quotes properly. Okay, make sure that you are writing these brackets, you are closing brackets properly, and you are writing it accordingly wherever required. Okay. Then what do we have? We have, you need to update the changes to the database. Why I have written changes to the database is basically because database contains tables. So whenever you execute create table command, it will add a table to the database. Which database? What is the name of the database? Database is mydatabase.db. In mydatabase.db, this particular table gets created. Once the table gets created, then you will have to execute commit because that table has to be added to the database. Okay. Then we will start inserting the records, like insert into student. What is the student? Student is the name of the table. Values, these are the values that you want to insert into. So for integer values you need to use quotations, for arrays you need to use, or strings or text data you need to use quotations. So Akshay is the name and ISC is the department, and similarly insert into values 222 Amit ISC 4, like this, so on and so forth. Then press commit. Then what we do, once 3 records are inserted, then we execute select star from STUD. STUD is our table. Then we execute this particular command. All rows of the records of the database are fetched at once. Okay. So if you want to fetch all the rows at a time, all records of the table at once, if you want to fetch, then you will have to use which command? You will have to use fetch all command for a cursor object. Okay, and that is available in rows. In rows we will be having all the set of records that are obtained from this select star from student. Then once you get all the records here, you will have to iterate through the entire list of records that are available using fetch row in rows, print row. Okay, so fetch row in rows will fetch one row at a time. For row in rows, using for loop, what do? We execute one, we fetch one row, sorry, at a time and print that row. Okay. Where are we? Okay. So you fetch all the rows and then iterate through all the rows that you have fetched, and then this is how we do. So this particular function ends here. For row in rows, print row. So this particular for loop will execute for all the rows that are available in a particular table. Okay. Then this is the end of this particular function. Okay. And I have not written a main function here. I have just called the functions. Which is the first function that we need to call? Which is the first function that we need to call? First step that we need to perform is we need to create a connection. To create a connection, what we have done, connection is equal to SQL connection. So this SQL connection function, which I have already shown you, will create a connection. This particular function is called first to create a connection, and that connection is returned, and later on we'll create a cursor and perform certain set of operations with the table. Okay, that is the reason why SQL underscore table is used. So connection object is returned from SQL connection function, and the same connection object is passed here to SQL table function, and then at the end we close connection. If you use closing on closing, and then you need not call this, automatically it will get closed. So now let me execute this and show you how it works. Okay, when I execute this, you can see there are some set of errors that will be getting displayed on a screen. So you can see this is a traceback of your program that you have executed. So what it does is, on line number 32, okay, create db.py, this is my file name. In this particular function, that is SQL table function, right, on line number 15, SQL table, what is the error? The table stud already exists. Means when I wrote the program for the first time, right, when I wrote the program and executed the program, this particular table is already created. That is the reason why it is telling that stud table is already existing. We will have to drop the table and then execute this once again, then the new table will get created. If suppose you don't want to do that, then don't create the table, because this table is already existing. You can just insert the rows directly. Let me do it in a different way, like instead of naming it as student, because student table already exists. Why I am telling this is, it is very important that you should understand what is the error and how to overcome the error. Okay, so let me name the table as my student instead of student. So whenever student is written, wherever student is written, you will replace it with my student. Okay, my student, my student. Okay, then pass the values. Since these are the first three students, I will just name them as 1, 2, 3. Once this is done, once you are sure that you have made all the changes accordingly, right, now try to execute the program. Right, so what it has done is, it has created a table called as my student in mydatabase.db, which is a database, and it has inserted 3 records. What are those 3 records? 3 records are these 3. There are 3 students, Akshay, Amit and Anil, in ISC department, 4th semester. Values are 1, 2, 3. For text values, it is displaying it as single quote, and each record is considered to be a tuple. right? If at all you want to insert few more records, then what you need to do, if you make some small changes in the program, you will be able to do that. How to do it? If suppose you want to have another set of students, like this is roll number 4, roll number 5, roll number 6. Roll number 4, let us assume as Bhaskar, right? Roll number 5 is Chinmay. Roll number 6 is Disha. Okay, let us assume that I want to insert 3 more records. Why I am telling 3 more is you will come to know very soon. In my student table itself, this my student table is already there, and I want to insert these 3. Which are the 3? Roll number 4, 1, 2, 3 is already done. That is Akshay and other 3. Other 2 have been already done. Now I want to insert roll number 4 as Bhaskar, roll number 5 as Chinmay, roll number 6 as Disha into the table. Okay, I have made these changes because see, whenever I execute it, I commit. I call commit function on that connection object, so it is stored. Now let us run and see whether it works. So after executing this, what should happen? It should contain 6 records. But what I am getting, what error I am getting? Again I am getting the same good old error which I have got for the first time. What does it say? Table my student already exists. Why? Is because when I executed just now previously, my student table has been created, isn't it? So my student table is already existing, and you are calling create command again once again, which is again my student. So what changes are to be done? Anybody? Any guesses? So what you do, instead of creating it, you just put a hash here indicating that this will be a part of comment. That means I don't want to create a table because that table is already existing. So what I want to do, I need to use the existing table, and the table name is my student only. Okay, in the my database.db, my student. Then in that table, insert these 3 records, isn't it? So what it should do, it should insert these 3 into the table along with the 3 which are already there. It will not overwrite, remember, it will not overwrite the existing records. Those records will be available, plus these 3 records must be there. So totally 6 records must be displayed. Let us see whether this happens, isn't it? So what we have done, we have executed a program successfully wherein we have inserted these 3 first and these 3 next. So totally we have got 6 records with us. Okay, so you can try this and get conversant yourself and see whether you are able to create a table, whether you are able to insert a record, whether you are able to execute the commands. I have just explained which one I have explained. Insert command, you can check out with other commands also, like you can check for delete command. Okay, let us try to write delete. Okay, so how to do that? So first let us find out the syntax for delete. Do it meticulously, do it not necessary that you should do it very fast, do it leisurely, but you should do it properly. Okay, so delete from a table name where this and execute it. Okay, so what should we do? This is the program. So now we'll put all these things into comments. All these we'll put into comment because all these programs have been already done. All these statements are executed and your table contains 6 records already. So what should we do? We'll copy this so instead of insert we'll delete from table. Which table? My student, where roll number is the primary key. You should remember that. Roll is equal to 1. So we'll execute this, then we'll see what happens. Okay, this is for deleting the record. So you can see the first record has been removed because we have executed a delete command. Similarly, you can say update, you can check for update, you can check for all the other commands that we have studied in the today's morning class and get the knowledge of using Python with database. We'll check for update once. Update table name. Look at this. Make a note of this particular thing. What does it say? Update table name. Set what you want to set, where this. Okay, update name of the table, set where. Okay, so shall we do that? This we have already done, so let us keep this into comment.